We worked with movie players and advanced table views with headers this week, so that's what we included in our application. So we have a movie application that consists of 3 view controllers, a home screen with the table view and our headers. When you touch a cell, you go to a detail view, and when you touch play trailer, you come over to our last view with our movie player. And as you can see, I have everything embedded in a navigation controller. I'll give you a look at my code. So the first thing we do, we have an empty array, theater array of type theater info object array. Then I hard-coded all my objects. I create my my theater objects here, my theater info objects, 3 of them. And then I created my 15 movie info objects. And you can see, here's my movie info class and my theater info class, which contains the movie info object array. So after I create all my objects, I put 5 movies each into each array in the theaters, theater 1, 2, and 3. And then I take my 3 theater objects and place them in the empty array up here. And now this array contains 3 objects, and those 3 objects contain separate arrays of all my movies. So all my information is kept within this array, and I'll work with this array for the rest of my application and get all the info I need from here. It was quite challenging at first, but after some print lines and just kind of finding out the data structure, it became one of the easier lessons we did. So I'd say like the first hour or 2 of just debugging and finding out what the heck is going on was the most frustrating, and after that it just flowed. Like once you tap into where that info is, how to get to it, everything was just super easy. So how we get our number of sections is basically just the count of our theater array. It's the amount of theaters. If there's 2 theaters, there's going to be 2 sections. If there's 3 theaters, it's going to be 3 sections. Simple. How we name each section, the title for a header and section. We just get each object in that section and get the name. Get the name element. Number of rows in section. This one was tricky. If you didn't get it right, your code would crash. It took me a minute to figure out. But once I figured out how to get to the arrays stored in the in my theater info objects, how to get into the movie info arrays within, it was simple, and it would go through and just count each one, totally dynamic, so that each array could be all different values and counts, and it would still function properly. And then here we just we're creating our cells. I have my custom cell here, and then just kind of like we dug around up here, we're digging into our theater array, index path section, and then getting the movie array object from the theater info object, and then grabbing the info we need from there and throwing it into our outlets, returning our cell. Then the same thing upon segue here. When we go to our detail view, we're just getting the 2 separate objects and then getting the elements from each of those objects and populating views and labels. And it just goes like that on throughout. It's my custom cell. This is the detail view controller that controls that view. This is how we populate it. And then this is the segue going from here to the movie player, and we're passing over some strings here, the URL, a background image, the title of the movie, and I'll show you that my application works. Here's our home screen. Carmike Cinemas is first, goes to AMC, and then to the Promenade 16. If we select Cinderella, come to our detail view, we actually have an actual picture of the theater in the background, little location information. I wanted to try and use everything that, all the elements in the objects. If we hit play trailer, we come to here, we have the title of the movie. We can play it. Added a pause button and also a stop button. And if you choose a different theater, you'll see that it gives that theater's picture with that location, and everything just functions the same. Like I said, everything's embedded in a navigation controller, so we have a back button on every screen. And then just to show you one last thing here, say we delete, let's delete 3 movies from here. And we'll rerun it, just so you can see that it does count the separate arrays, and it will not affect our application. It's all dynamic. See, now we only have those 2, but our other sections still have the 5. And it goes on. You can delete a theater, add a theater, delete movies, add movies, and it would just always calculate. What I really thought I could do better, that I was trying to figure out, was when you come to this screen, having a thumbnail already in here. I think it looks kind of plain. Just blank, almost probably could confuse the user. They wouldn't know what to do.
Most important.
Besides that, I really would have liked to have found a good API to pull this information in instead of hard coding it. But I ended up hard coding it, and I actually went and downloaded and each separate trailer, uploaded it to a photo bucket, and then got the direct URL for every single movie, just because I guess OCD, I don't know, but I wanted it all to work good. But hope it works good on your end. Awesome week. Thank you so much, Miss Jones. And I guess I may have you again, because we do have one more iOS class, I believe. But if not, thank you for everything, and enjoy your summer. Bye-bye.